Hey, how's it going, everybody? So, I got really mad just recently reading about Tsarnaev's being featured on the cover of Rolling Stone. And no, it's not because he was featured. It's because Thomas Menino, the office of the mayor of the city of Boston, sent a letter to Rolling Stone saying that he was mad that this kid, the person associated with the Boston bombing, was featured on Rolling Stone. Okay, there are several problems here, and people need to really get rid of the emotionalism and just take a look at the brass tacks, okay? This is a person who is in government, on government money, on government letterhead, which is money taken from people by force or threat of force. Because taxes, essentially that, if you don't pay them, guess what? Somebody comes and takes your property, or you go to jail. If you resist, obviously you can get killed if you resist up to the level. Alright, point taken. You may not agree, but that's the reality. Agree or not, that's what will happen if you don't pay your taxes. So this guy is money that he did not voluntarily trade, and he's using that money to spend time telling a magazine that's a culture magazine, exercising what would be otherwise considered general First Amendment stuff, how they should present their content and what they should be focusing on. So the government's using public money to determine public opinion about, whether or not someone should be shown as glamorized or not. And that made me absolutely livid. Because first, the government telling anybody how they should or shouldn't present information really pisses me off. It's money taken by the people and then mind control, trying to tell the people in the public, what they should or shouldn't think about. Number two, meanwhile, this is the mayor whose police force happened to go and do warrantless raids of innocent people's homes. Don't believe me? Just Google it. You'll find that there are a number of different videos and pictures that you can see of police that are armed paramilitary style. One guy's at a Humvee pointing a gun at a window. There's a video that's shown off. It's police performing house-to-house raids in Watertown, Massachusetts, ripping innocent families from their homes. I mean, this is really scary stuff out of 1984, okay? So where's the coverage on that? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? They're worried that, oh, no, you're glamorizing this and you're going to make people want to be terrorists and stuff like that. Meanwhile, they're not themselves talking about the evil acts they committed on innocent people. They're not asking to have their stuff glamorized. No, they're saying, oh, you should focus, on the volunteers and first responders and doctors. That's funny. Since when did the government get the business of telling people and, and businesses how they should or shouldn't, present their artistic content? Because, it's a magazine, it's more artistic about music, stuff like that. And not only that, when we're talking about, the core criticism, oh, we're glamorizing terrorists. The government puts billboards and ads and even pays movie producers to glamorize police and the military, which, personally, you may have different feelings about this. I hate those positions. I don't hate the people. The people themselves are different, but I hate what they do. I hate what the military does, especially now more than ever. They're conducting all sorts of different types of affronts across the globe, many secretive. The Syrian thing, that was going on way before it was in the news. But they're drone bombing children. This is not, recent history news. You probably haven't been told that on the news. You should probably Google, 15-year-old who is drone bombed American citizen. They glamorize their force. In some cases, like the Navy, they'll put up billboards and say, the global force for good. This is total Orwellian propaganda to get people to say, oh, yes, police, military, they should be everywhere. They should, we need to have them protecting every street corner, armed to the teeth to fight terrorism. The government glamorizes its own people who are going and murdering people across the globe. And then those people, sadly, are often getting themselves murdered or mistreated, or underfunded. Right? There's been a lot of issues that have come up in the past where military men and women are not funded well. They're treated poorly. Different issues, especially veterans. Lots of people coming back with serious mental illnesses because of the crap they're seeing, and their friends are getting shot and blown up. It's a whole corrupt, evil system that's not actually being used to fight terrorism. This is another rabbit hole that you'll have to, go to the proverbial matrix and choose the blue or the red pill to do your research on. But they're not going to fight for freedom. They're going to fight for global control, positioning military in areas where they can control natural resources. It's not being exploited for you. This is one of the things that led me to become a more liberty-oriented person. Back in the day, I used to be a neocon. I was thinking, oh yeah, they're going over, they're going to take out Saddam, even though Iraq wasn't the one who claimed to attack. They're going to take the oil, send it back. I watched the oil import charts, and it wasn't coming back. The government wasn't sending more oil. Gas wasn't going down. And it started making me like, what? Wait, whoa. They're not exploiting the natural resources. And that kind of led my research and realizing, oh my gosh, it's not about that. It's not even about traditional military might, like, oh, we're going to go and take the resources, make our lives better. No, it's just about control, and we get screwed no matter what. So that all said, this is disgusting. This letter is disgusting. It's intimidation under official authority about First Amendment activities, free speech. Sure, a person could have a personal critique. The individual who's the mayor could have a personal disgust for what the Rolling Stone did. The fact of the matter is, he's wrote this letter on official paper. It has the seal and insignia of the city of Boston, Massachusetts. It has his name as the mayor of Boston. It is on public dime. It is 1984, and it should be absolutely shunned. And as much as people may not like this individual if he did actually commit the act, because I don't know, there's a lot of weird factors in it that I'm still trying to flesh out, because, if you didn't already know this, the FBI already knew who those guys were, and they lied at the press conference saying we're trying to identify them. They actually knew who they were. They had interactions before. Oh, got suppressed in the media, though. Just believe the official narrative. But in any case, you got to do your research on this, please. I really don't want anybody to believe anything that I say. The number one thing that you should be doing is take my claims, research them, come back, let me know what you find. It's out there. Like, a lot of this stuff is not an MSM, but it's covered. And thanks to video and pictures that people can actually, easily get, thanks to things like YouTube, stuff like that. You get live coverage of events, you get the secret meetings, you get to see C-SPAN. There's a lot of things that before were very hard to come by, and now you can get the evidence pretty quick and do your own research. So it's amazing. But I just want to say that my 2 cents about that. I mean, this made me really livid, because to see the government, and not just the government, but an office that abuse people's rights through the police department, cost the city $1 billion, and then, in conjunction on the grander scale, also glamorizes terrorism to promote its war effort. They put a face with Bin Laden, they glamorize that, see that on the History Channel. Yeah, and yes, the CIA has a whole department that actually works with the film industry. They do consult on movie projects to promote the military. You see on billboards, Global Force for Good, the Marines making them all glamorous, the big, shiny pictures. Meanwhile, they're getting shot up, thousands of people dead, hundreds of thousands of people dead as casualties across the globe. We have, people like Bradley Manning, Edward Snowden, people that are trying to tell the information about what's really going on, and then the government wants to, kill them or throw them in jail because they're releasing information about the government spying on us. Oh yeah, let's throw Manning and Snowden into jail because they're spying about our spying. I mean, we're really in a very perverse time, and if you haven't woken up, you need to wake up. Like, it's really scary. So, questions, comments, thoughts, put them down below. We'll talk later. Take care, everyone.